Hello friends, welcome to my channel Immortal Soldier. Today we'll learn about military exercise of 2020 and 2019. You must be thinking, what are military exercises and why they are conducted? Military exercises are conducted to test the quickness, real-time capabilities of warfare and adopting strategies without undergoing actual combat. It is a technique of using military resources in training or performing drills of military operations. The military exercise is a measure to test the performance of armed forces without engaging in the battlefield. Why joint military exercise of India are conducted? We have few reasons. We have neighbors like Pakistan, China. So defense exercise are conducted as it serves many purposes like counter-terrorism, low-intensity conflict operations at counter-insurgency. Military exercise are made to test the abilities of armed forces without getting into actual combat. It also helps armed forces to train themselves for humanitarian relief in case of natural calamity or disaster. Military exercise also helps in improving the cooperation and coordination among fellow participants for any joint military operations. Let's know about them. First is Native Furry between USA and UAE. It was held at Indradhanush between Indian Air Force and Royal Air Force of Britain, held at Ghaziabad, UP. Milan 2020. It is a multilateral exercise held at Vishakhapatnam. Matla Abhiyan. It is an Indian Navy exercise held at Sundarbans. Sindhu Sudarshan. This exercise is of Indian Army. It was held at Rajasthan. Ajay Warrior between India and United Kingdom. It was held at UK. Defense Expo. It was held in 2020 at Lucknow, UP. Sahyog Kaijin between India and Japan. Held at Chennai. BIMSTEC Disaster Management Exercise. It was held between India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Myanmar, held at Puri, Odisha. Sampriti 9 exercise between India and Bangladesh, held at Umroi, Meghalaya. Nawams 19. It was held at New Delhi. Nasim Al Bahar. This exercise was held between India and Oman, held at Goa. Eastern Bridge 5 between India and Oman at Air Base Masira, Oman. Al Naga between India and Oman. Dharma Guardian, Indian and Japanese armies, held at Mizoram. Shinyu Maitri, India and Japan, held at West Bengal. Hand in Hand is exercise between India and China, held at Meghalaya. Bold Kurukshetra between India and Singapore. इंद्र इंडिया एंड रशिया के बीच में होती है. फर्स्टली इट वाज हेल्ड एट बबीना यूपी, सेकंड हेल्ड एट पुणे महाराष्ट्र एंड थर्ड वन वाज हेल्ड एट गोवा. मित्र शक्ति between India and Sri Lanka at Pune, Maharashtra. Upharan, it is an anti-hijacking exercise held at port of Kochi. Ukevrin, between India and Maldives, held at Pune. Nomadic Elephant, between India and Mongolia, held at Baklo, Himachal Pradesh. Kazind, between India and Kazakhstan, held at Pithoragarh, Uttarakhand. Vajra Prahar, between India and USA, held at USA. Next is Garuda. It is an Indo-French joint air exercise. Next is T-Center. exercise. For the second time in a row, India took part in drill and around 140 troops of Indian Army participated. And you must know India joined SCO in June 2017. इसके साथ साथ पाकिस्तान ने भी ज्वाइन किया था. मिलन एक्सरसाइज ये मार्च 2020 में हुई थी. इंडियन नेवी ने ऑर्गेनाइज की थी. शाहीन 8th edition of bilateral exercise between China and Pakistan. युद्ध अभ्यास between India and US. Vajra Prahar also between India and USA. Slinex. Slinex is between India and Sri Lankan Navy. Maitri. It is an exercise of Indo-Thailand. It is a joint military exercise of India and Thailand. Sitmex. It is a trilateral exercise of Indian Navy, Republic of Singapore and Royal Thailand Navy. Sitmex. Singapore, India, Thailand maritime exercise. Tiger Triumph. It was held between India and USA. The first tri-service exercise codenamed as Tiger Triumph held at Vishakhapatnam and Kakinada in Andhra Pradesh. Malabar 2019. It was its 23rd edition held between India, Japan and USA. Equestrian between India and Maldives. Kazind between India and Kazakhstan. Nomadic elephant we've also discussed between India and Mongolia. Dharma Guardian between India and Japan. Imbex India-Myanmar bilateral army exercise. Next is Sea Vigil. Indian Navy has commenced its largest ever coastal defense exercise, Sea Vigil, of the Indian coast 10 years after 26/11 attack, as we have 7,517 kilometers of coastline and 13 coastal states and UTs. F-Index India and 17 African nations joint military exercise held at Pune. Vayu Shakti Indian Air Force conducted this exercise in Rajasthan. Meenamati Maitri exercise. It is an exercise between Border Security Force and Border Guards of Bangladesh. Mitra Shakti between India and Sri Lanka. AUSINDEX between India and Australia. India and Australia conducted AUSINDEX in 2019 at Vishakhapatnam from 2 to 16 April 2019. Here are some more joint Indian military exercises like Shakti between India and France, Garud Shakti between India and Indonesia, Mitra Shakti between India and Sri Lanka, Harimau Shakti between India and Malaysia, Khanjar between India and Kyrgyzstan, Prabal Dostyak between India and Kazakhstan, Surya Kiran, it is an exercise between India and Nepal, Lamette between India and Seychelles, Ajay Warrior between India and United Kingdom. I hope you like the content. Now you must watch the video 2 to 3 times so that you can learn them all. Thanks for watching. Jai